In the early 2000s, whispers began about a strange broadcast on a little-known local station, Channel 27. The show, titled Happy Town Junction, was a low-budget children's program featuring puppets and cheerful songs. But one episode, known only as The Incident, was different. Viewers recalled the puppets moving awkwardly, their glassy eyes staring too long at the camera. The host, usually upbeat, spoke in a slow, monotone voice, reciting nonsensical phrases. Halfway through, the screen flickered, and the show cut to static. When the feed returned, the puppets were slumped over, and the host stood silently, staring at the camera. Then, in a distorted voice, the host whispered, "They're watching. Don't look away." The screen went black. Reports from viewers varied. Some felt dizzy or disoriented. Others claimed to hear faint whispers long after the episode ended. A few said they saw shadowy figures reflected in their screens. Channel 27 refused to comment, and the episode was never re-aired. One former employee claimed it wasn't part of the regular programming and blamed it on a rogue signal hijack. Others believed it was an experiment in subliminal messaging. No footage of Happy Town Junction has ever surfaced, but conspiracy theorists claim the broadcast was real. Those who dig too deeply into it report strange occurrences, untraceable calls, corrupted files, and TVs turning on by themselves, always to static. The last known words from the show still haunt those who remember. "They're watching, don't look away."
Deep in the Sahara Desert, a blurry satellite image surfaced online, a massive, black pyramid buried beneath the sand. It wasn't on any map, and official records denied its existence. But conspiracy theorists were certain this was no ordinary structure. A group of explorers set out to find it, live streaming their journey. Days passed with nothing but endless dunes. Then the feed went silent. Hours later, it resumed briefly, showing a massive, obsidian-like pyramid rising from the sand, its surface smooth and impossibly dark. The camera panned shakily as the team entered. Inside, the walls were covered in strange symbols, glowing faintly. The explorers whispered nervously, describing a low hum that seemed to vibrate in their bones. One of them pointed out that their GPS had stopped working. Suddenly, the stream cut to black. No one heard from the team again. Days later, the video vanished from the internet, along with any mention of the pyramid. Those who shared it reported strange knocks at their doors late at night, or their devices mysteriously wiped clean. Some believe the pyramid is an ancient alien structure. Others say it's a government experiment buried in secrecy. But those who look for it often disappear, leaving only one chilling warning behind. Don't go near the Black Pyramid. It doesn't want to be found. In a remote corner of Alaska, hikers often report a strange metal tower rising from the forest. It isn't marked on maps, and no one knows who built it. Locals call it the Signal Tower and warn travelers to stay away. A group of friends on a camping trip decided to investigate after hearing the stories. They found the tower at sunset, its rusted frame stretching high into the sky, topped with a blinking red light. Despite the eerie silence around it, no birds, no wind, they pressed on. At the base of the tower, they discovered strange carvings etched into the metal, spirals, geometric shapes, and symbols they couldn't decipher. One of them climbed the rickety ladder to the top, hoping to get a better view. Halfway up, he froze. "There's something up here," he whispered down. The others saw him stop moving, his head tilted as if listening. Then, without warning, he screamed and fell, landing lifeless at their feet. Panicked, the group tried to leave, but their phones and compasses stopped working. A deep, vibrating hum filled the air, and the blinking light atop the tower began flashing faster. One by one, they started hearing voices, faint at first, then louder. Each voice seemed to come from a loved one, calling for help. Against their will, they found themselves walking back toward the tower. By morning, the forest was empty, save for the tower, its light still blinking steadily. Locals say the tower broadcasts a signal no one can trace, and those who hear it never come back. But the real question remains, who or what is it calling? Liam had lived in his apartment for 3 months before noticing the door. It was small, almost hidden, tucked behind a tall bookshelf in the living room. He was sure it hadn't been there before. Curiosity gnawed at him. One night, he moved the bookshelf aside and tried the handle. It was locked. A faint sound came from the other side, like whispers just out of reach. The next day, a key appeared on his kitchen counter. He didn't own a key like that, but it fit the lock perfectly. When Liam opened the door, he found a narrow staircase spiraling down into darkness. Against his better judgment, he descended. The air grew colder with every step, the whispers louder. At the bottom was a small, windowless room. In the center stood a single wooden chair, and on the walls were dozens of Polaroid photos. Liam's stomach turned as he recognized himself in every photo, sleeping, eating, walking to work. Some of the pictures were from angles that weren't possible inside his apartment. Suddenly, the door at the top of the stairs slammed shut. The whispers stopped. Liam ran up the stairs, but the door wouldn't budge. Behind him, the chair creaked. He turned to see a figure sitting in it, its face shrouded in shadow. "You shouldn't have come here," it said in his own voice. The next morning, Liam's landlord found the apartment empty. The only thing left behind was the Polaroid camera, still warm to the touch. In a quiet town, people began vanishing without a trace. The only clue was a mysterious late-night radio signal. Between 3 and 4 a.m., it hijacked frequencies, playing distorted music, faint whispers, and ending with a countdown. Jake, a skeptic, decided to investigate. At 3:13 a.m., his old radio picked up the signal. A haunting melody played, layered with whispers he couldn't quite make out. Then the countdown began. 60, 59, 58. As it ticked down, the whispers grew louder, forming a voice. "We see you." When the countdown hit 0, Jake's lights flickered, and his computer screen filled with static. A message appeared. "You're marked." The next day, black SUVs appeared outside his house. Strangers in dark suits lingered, watching him. When Jake tried to share the recording, the file corrupted. His phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Stop listening." That night, the signal returned, blasting from his speakers, even with the radio off. The countdown began again. Jake unplugged everything, but the whispers grew deafening, and the voice said, "It's time." The next morning, Jake was gone. His apartment was empty, as if he'd never lived there. Conspiracy theorists claim the signal is a recruitment tool, or a beacon for something not of this world. Late at night, the whispers still drift through the airwaves, carrying a chilling warning. "We see you." The Thompsons were thrilled to find an antique mirror at a local estate sale. It was tall, ornate, and perfect for their living room. But from the moment they hung it, strange things began to happen. At first it was small, a flicker in the corner of their vision, a shadow that didn't belong. Then their daughter, Lily, claimed she saw someone in the mirror. "She looks like me," Lily said, "but she's not." One night, as the family watched TV, the mirror's surface rippled. John Thompson dismissed it as a trick of the light, but his wife swore she saw their reflections move when they hadn't. Things escalated when Lily stopped responding to her name. She'd stand in front of the mirror for hours, her lips moving silently. When her mother tried to pull her away, Lily turned and whispered, "She says it's my turn now." The next morning, Lily was gone. Her reflection remained, staring back with a twisted smile. Desperate, the Thompsons smashed the mirror, but all that was left was a black void where the glass had been. Faint laughter echoed from the shards. The mirror was gone, but every window in the house now showed a reflection that didn't match. In the 1980s, a small town called Ashbourne vanished overnight. Maps were updated, records erased, and its name forgotten. Only a handful of conspiracy theorists claim it ever existed. Lila, a journalist, stumbled across a cryptic forum thread about Ashbourne. It mentioned strange experiments and government cover-ups. Intrigued, she followed the breadcrumbs, old newspaper clippings, abandoned roads leading to nowhere, and whispers of a Project Silent Dawn. Eventually, she found the supposed location. A cracked, overgrown road led to a clearing where the town should have been. Instead, she found crumbling foundations and a single intact sign, "Welcome to Ashbourne." As Lila explored, she noticed the air felt heavy and the silence was unnatural. Then she saw them, shadowy figures moving just beyond her vision. Her phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. "Leave now." Ignoring the warning, she pressed on and found a rusted metal hatch. Inside were files stamped "classified." They detailed experiments with sound waves and mass psychological manipulation. A final note read, "Containment failed. Evacuate immediately." Before she could leave, the shadows surrounded her. Her phone camera captured one last image, the Ashburn sign, now pristine, with lights glowing faintly in the distance. Lila never returned, and her notes were wiped from the internet. Those who search for Ashburn claim to hear faint whispers calling them back, but no one who goes looking ever comes home. In 1998, a mysterious TV signal began interrupting late-night broadcasts in small towns across the Midwest. It showed a static-filled screen with a faint figure in the background and a distorted voice repeating, "Do you see me?" At first, it was dismissed as a prank, but the interruptions grew more frequent, always airing at exactly 2:13 a.m. People who watched the broadcast reported strange side effects, headaches, vivid nightmares, and a feeling of being watched. Some claimed the figure in the static was getting closer. One night, David, an insomniac, decided to record the broadcast. He watched as the static shifted, revealing a pale, hollow-eyed figure staring directly at him. The voice whispered, "I see you now." The next morning, David's neighbors found his TV on. The screen cracked. He was gone, with no signs of a struggle except for a single handprint burned into the carpet. After David's disappearance, the broadcast stopped. But conspiracy theorists claim it wasn't random. The towns where it aired have the highest rates of missing persons, and those who watched it still report seeing the figure in their dreams, whispering, "You're next." Some say the phantom broadcast was a failed government experiment in mind control. Others believe it was something far worse, reaching through the static to claim its victims.
What if all you know about the cursed videotape was a lie? The legend of the ring traces back to ancient folklore, where spirits were said to be trapped in images, seeking vengeance. The chilling tale follows a young girl named Samara, whose tragic death fueled her wrath. Some believe this horror was inspired by a real-life phenomenon where discarded tapes led to mysterious vanishings. Over time, variations of the story emerged, each deepening the fear surrounding the tape. Those who dared to watch it faced terrifying apparitions, culminating in their demise. The tape serves as a warning, a reminder that some films are more than entertainment. What if I told you about a night of music and celebration that turned into a chilling tale of tragedy and haunting? In 1996, Ozone Disco in Quezon City, Philippines, was the site of one of the deadliest nightclub fires in history. Over 160 lives were lost in the blaze, many trapped inside the building with no escape. Legend has it that the souls of those who perished never left. People claim to hear faint music, laughter, and screams coming from the abandoned site late at night. Taxi drivers report seeing ghostly figures hailing rides, only for them to vanish once the car stops. Locals believe the spirits linger, reliving their final moments, or seeking justice for the neglect that led to the tragedy. Is it a place forever marked by grief? Or does the Ozone Disco still echo with the voices of the past? Subscribe for more true stories that blur the line between tragedy and the supernatural.
Sophia always joked about her terrible memory. "I'd forget my own roommate if I wasn't careful," she'd laugh. But lately, things felt off. She'd come home to find the TV on or food missing from the fridge, even though she lived alone. One day, her coworker asked, "How's your roommate? She seemed nice when I saw her last week." Sophia froze. She didn't have a roommate. That night, she heard footsteps in the hall. Heart pounding, she grabbed a knife and crept toward the sound. The footsteps led to her bedroom. When she pushed open the door, someone was sitting on her bed, someone who looked exactly like her. The figure smiled, tilting its head. "You don't remember me," it said softly, "but I remember you." Sophia tried to back away, but the figure stood, mirroring her every move. "You forgot about me," it whispered, its voice dripping with venom. "But I've been here the whole time." Before Sophia could scream, the figure lunged. The next morning, Sophia's friends noticed she seemed different. Her smile was too wide, her laugh too sharp. And at night, when she looked in the mirror, her reflection mouthed silently, "Let me out."
It began as a rumor on forums, a phone number that shouldn't exist. If you called it, a distorted voice would answer, saying only, "Do you want to know the truth?" Most dismissed it as a hoax, but those who called often vanished within days. Mia found the number scrawled on a sticky note at work. Curious, she dialed it. The call connected instantly, though no ringtone played. A voice whispered, "Do you want to know the truth?" She hesitated, then said, "Yes." The voice chuckled. "You already know it." The line went dead, but her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Notifications flooded in, photos of her taken from angles she didn't recognize. One showed her at her desk that morning, another sitting on her couch. The last photo was taken at that moment. It showed her on the phone, with a shadowy figure standing behind her. She turned, but no one was there. The next day, Mia's co-workers noticed her desk was empty. Her apartment, too, was eerily spotless, save for her phone. It buzzed with one final message: "You're part of it now." Conspiracy forums exploded with theories, secret organizations, time loops, or a surveillance system gone rogue. But no one knows where the calls come from or where the callers go. All they know is the number keeps appearing, waiting for someone else to pick up.
It began with strange reports, people hearing static on their devices, even when they were turned off. Phones, TVs, radios, it didn't matter. The static came, always accompanied by faint voices that seemed to whisper names. Ben first noticed it on his phone. Late one night, as he scrolled in bed, the screen flickered. The static started, and through it, he heard his name. "Ben," the voice whispered, faint but unmistakable. He dismissed it as a glitch, but the next day, his coworkers mentioned hearing his name too, on their own devices. "It was like you were calling me," one said, unnerved. That night, Ben unplugged everything. But at 3 a.m., his TV turned on by itself. Static filled the screen, and the whispers returned, louder this time. "We're coming for you, Ben." Terrified, he tried to leave, but his front door wouldn't open. The lights flickered and the static grew deafening. Through the noise, a shadow formed on the TV screen, growing clearer until it resembled Ben himself. The shadow smiled and spoke, "You can't run." When Ben's friends came to check on him the next day, his apartment was empty. His phone sat on the table, playing endless static. Theories flooded the internet: a government experiment, a digital curse, or a message from another dimension. But one thing was certain: if you heard your name in the static, it was already too late. When the Garcias moved into their new home, they were delighted to discover an extra room not listed on the blueprints. It was small but cozy, tucked behind the laundry room with a single window that overlooked the backyard. Their teenage son, Ben, claimed it as his own space. He filled it with books, posters, and a beanbag chair, spending hours there after school. But soon he began acting strangely, distant, tired, and jumpy. One night, Ben burst into his parents' room, trembling. "The window doesn't look outside anymore," he whispered. Confused, they followed him to the room. Sure enough, the window no longer showed the backyard, but a black void, faintly pulsing as if alive. Over the next few days, the family tried to avoid the room, but its door would always be open, the darkness inside seeming to creep closer. Then they heard Ben talking to someone. When they confronted him, he said, "It's not a someone. It's the room. It says it's hungry." That night, Ben disappeared. They searched the house, calling his name, but all they found was his phone lying in the center of the extra room. By morning, the room was gone, its door replaced by a solid wall. The Garcias swore it had been there, but no one believed them. Years later, the house's new owners reported hearing faint knocks coming from behind the laundry room wall.
What if all you know about government secrecy was a lie? The eerie world of alien conspiracies depicted in a popular series raises unsettling questions. One chilling theory suggests the existence of a secret project called MK Ultra, where the government experimented on unwitting citizens, blurring lines between reality and fiction. This project, shrouded in darkness, aimed to explore mind control and often included bizarre tests reminiscent of extraterrestrial encounters. The eerie resemblance between these experiments and the show's plotlines implies that fiction may echo true horrors. Are we merely spectators, or are we being watched? Subscribe for more unnerving tales.
The Millers stumbled upon the old clock at a dusty antique shop. It was beautiful, hand-carved wood with intricate gears and a faint chime that felt oddly soothing. The shopkeeper warned them, "This clock keeps more than time," but they laughed it off and brought it home. At first, the clock was a charming centerpiece, but soon its ticking grew louder, echoing through the house even when they weren't near it. The hands moved erratically, sometimes stopping altogether, only to start spinning backward. One night, at exactly 3:33 a.m., the chime rang out, louder than ever before. The family woke to find the house freezing cold, the air heavy. Shadows moved unnaturally, stretching and twisting along the walls. Their son Max was the first to notice the figure, a gaunt man in a tattered suit standing near the clock. His hollow eyes locked onto them as he whispered, "Time's up." The family tried to flee, but every door led back to the living room. The clock's hands spun faster and faster, the chime now deafening. One by one, the Millers vanished, their screams swallowed by the sound of grinding gears. By morning, the house was silent. The clock sat pristine, its hands reset to midnight, waiting patiently for its next owner.
What if all you know about The Simpsons was not just a show, but a chilling prophecy? This iconic series, known for its humor, has eerily predicted major events, from Donald Trump's presidency to the 9/11 attacks. Originating in the late 1980s, some episodes contain bizarre coincidences that have left fans unnerved. One infamous episode featured a monorail system in Springfield, only to have a real-life monorail proposal arise in 1997. Over the years, variations of this theory suggest that the show's creators possess a supernatural foresight. Real-life tragedies seem to echo in its plot lines, leading some viewers to wonder, is it all just a bizarre coincidence? Or is there something sinister at play? Subscribe for more chilling tales.
It started as a rumor on conspiracy forums. A strange radio frequency, dubbed the Black Signal, could be picked up at exactly 3:03 a.m. on shortwave radios. Those who tuned in claimed to hear a distorted voice delivering cryptic messages, coordinates, or chilling warnings like, "They are watching." Jake, a self-proclaimed conspiracy enthusiast, decided to investigate. He dusted off an old radio, set his alarm for 3 a.m., and tuned in. At first, there was only static. Faintly, a voice emerged, crackling and disjointed. "Do not look outside," it said. Jake froze, heart pounding. Against his better judgment, he glanced at the window. A dark figure stood motionless in the yard, its outline barely visible in the moonlight. The next night, curiosity overtook fear. He tuned in again. This time, the voice whispered coordinates, his exact location. "Leave now," it added. By the third night, the voice grew clearer. "They know you're listening," it hissed. The lights in Jake's house flickered and his phone vibrated. A text appeared. "Stop." Terrified, Jake unplugged the radio and smashed it, but the signal didn't stop. His TV flickered on, displaying static, and the voice returned, louder than ever. "You can't run." The next morning, Jake was gone. His house was empty, save for a single unmarked radio sitting on the table, still tuned to the Black Signal. The forums went silent after that, but some claim the signal still broadcasts, waiting for its next listener.
What if I told you there's a forest so haunted, locals won't set foot in it after dark? Deep in Romania lies the Hoia Baciu Forest, often called the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania. Known for its twisted trees and eerie silence, the forest is home to countless tales of disappearances, ghostly apparitions, and unexplainable phenomena. Legend has it that a shepherd once entered the forest with 200 sheep, and none of them were ever seen again. Another story speaks of a little girl who vanished, only to reappear years later, unchanged and with no memory of where she'd been. People report feeling watched, sudden nausea, and even strange lights floating between the trees. And then there's the forest's infamous clearing, a perfect circle where nothing grows, said to be a portal to another dimension. Paranormal investigators have recorded bizarre energy readings here, but no one can explain why it exists. Would you dare to enter this forest of nightmares? Subscribe for more spine-chilling tales from around the world.
It started with a strange notification. People would receive a message on their phone that simply said, "You've been scheduled." No sender, no details, just a date and time. Emma got hers at midnight. The notification appeared even though her phone was on airplane mode. "You've been scheduled, 3 a.m. tomorrow." She tried deleting it, but it wouldn't go away. By morning, rumors online revealed others had received the same message. Theories ranged from a viral prank to hackers, but one thing stood out: no one who reached their scheduled time was ever heard from again. Emma stayed awake that night, every light on, clutching her phone. At exactly 3 a.m., the lights flickered, and her phone buzzed. The screen lit up with a live feed of her own living room. In the video, a figure stood behind her. Emma spun around, but the room was empty. The screen now displayed a countdown. Panicked, she tried to call for help, but her phone was locked to the timer. The figure reappeared on the screen, closer now, its face blurred but its intent clear. The countdown hit 0. The screen went black. The next day, Emma's apartment was silent. Her phone lay on the floor, the notification still glowing. "You've been scheduled." Conspiracy theorists claim the notifications are part of a sinister AI experiment or a ritualistic purge, but no one knows who or what is behind it. All they know is when the message comes, you can't escape your appointment. During a Halloween sale, Claire bought an antique mask from a mysterious vendor. When she put it on, it seemed to meld to her face, its hollow eyes glowing faintly. At first, it felt thrilling, but soon she couldn't remove it. Her reflection in the mirror began to change, showing someone else's face beneath the mask. At night, she felt it tightening, whispering her deepest fears. Days later, Claire vanished, and the mask returned to the vendor's stall, waiting for its next owner.
What if I told you that ancient Egyptian tombs are cursed? The curse of the pharaohs originated when tomb raiders disturbed sacred sites. Legends claim that vengeful spirits protect their resting places, bringing misfortune to intruders. The most famous case is that of Tutankhamun's tomb. After its discovery in 1922, several people associated with the excavation died under mysterious circumstances. Tales of illness, accidents, and even sudden deaths fueled fears of a curse. Variations of the story suggest ancient texts warned of dire consequences for those who disrespected the dead. These chilling narratives serve as a haunting reminder. Some doors should remain closed. Subscribe for more spine-tingling tales.
Emma's birthday began with excitement, her friends surrounding her as she tore open presents. Among the colorful wrapping was a small porcelain doll with glassy eyes that seemed to follow her every move. Initially charmed, Emma soon found the doll unsettling. Its gaze felt too intense, almost alive. She named her Clara and placed her on the shelf where Clara could oversee the room. That night, Emma awoke to a soft thudding sound. The doll had shifted a few inches on the shelf. Its head turned slightly as if watching her sleep. Dismissing it as a trick of the light, she fell back asleep. But the thumping returned each night, growing louder. An insistent reminder of the eyes that seemed to know her secrets. One evening, she caught a glimpse of Clara's reflection in the glass. The doll's smile appeared wider, almost mocking. Fear gnawed at Emma, yet she couldn't bring herself to part with Clara. On the final night, she woke to find Clara sitting on her bed, eyes wide and empty. In a panic, Emma grabbed the doll, throwing it into the closet. The next morning, she discovered her parents were gone, leaving nothing but a note saying they could no longer watch her. Clara was now free, her watchful eyes finally without human restraint.
What if I told you about the Abiku, a haunting presence in Yoruba mythology? These are the spirits of children who die young, only to return to the living. Legends say they are born to families destined for tragedy, coming and going as they please. Their return is often marked by strange occurrences and the scent of decay. Families, desperate to keep their children safe, have been known to perform rituals to bind these spirits. Variations of the tale exist, with some saying the Abiku is a trickster, luring others to their fate. Stories of real-life encounters add to the terror, leaving many to wonder about the true nature of these elusive spirits. Subscribe for more chilling tales. What if I told you that the Slender Man, an internet meme, transformed into a terrifying urban legend? Originating in 2009 on a forum, he was depicted as a tall, faceless figure haunting children. This fictional creation quickly morphed into something sinister. Variations of his story emerged, claiming he abducted children or drove them to madness. In 2014, the legend took a horrifying turn when two girls, influenced by the myth, attempted to murder a classmate to appease him. This chilling incident revealed how far the fan theory had penetrated young minds. The Slender Man serves as a reminder of how folklore can evolve and influence reality. Subscribe for more eerie tales. What if I told you the Red Room holds the darkest secrets of Hill House? This chilling space is a character all its own, adapting to the fears and desires of those who enter. Originating from the novel by Shirley Jackson, the Red Room symbolizes personal trauma and the ghosts of the past. Many believe it reflects the family's struggles, revealing their hidden terrors. Variations of the theory suggest it's a manifestation of grief or a portal to the afterlife, echoing real events of loss and mental illness. The unsettling atmosphere leaves viewers questioning reality itself. To uncover more mysteries, don't forget to subscribe for the latest theories that will haunt your thoughts. If you see the other mother at night in your dreams, just run. This character, with her button eyes and sinister smile, is rooted in deeper horrors than her whimsical appearance suggests. The theory posits that she represents a dark manifestation of parental neglect and abandonment. Originating from Neil Gaiman's novella, The Other Mother is a twisted reflection of Coraline's real mother, who is overwhelmed and inattentive. Variations of this theory explore the unsettling idea that she lures children into a false paradise to feed on their souls, a grim echo of real-life stories of child exploitation. The haunting visuals and chilling essence of The Other Mother remind us of the dark corners of our own realities. Subscribe for more eerie tales. What if all you know about reality was a lie? The Mandela effect suggests that countless people share false memories of events, characters, and pop culture moments. Originating from Nelson Mandela's death, which many recalled occurring in the 1980s, the effect raises chilling questions about our perception of reality. Variations include misremembered movie quotes like, "Luke, I am your father," and the Berenstain Bears confusion. Some believe these discrepancies hint at alternate dimensions or time travel. Others argue it's a mass psychological phenomenon. Real-life tragedies, like the loss of the Titanic, may also feed this eerie narrative. Are we living in a simulation? Subscribe for more chilling tales. What if all you know about the Blair Witch Project was a lie? The film, released in 1999, captivated audiences with its raw, found footage style. But its origins delve into unsettling real-life events. The myth of the Blair Witch traces back to the 18th century, inspired by tales of a woman accused of witchcraft in Burkittsville, Maryland. Locals claimed she cursed the forest, leading to eerie disappearances. In the film, 3 filmmakers vanish, echoing these stories. The chilling ambiguity between fact and fiction made viewers question reality. The filmmakers capitalized on local legends, blurring lines that still haunt fans today. Subscribe for more spine-chilling tales. What if all you know about the Hope Diamond was a lie? This stunning gem, known for its deep blue hue, is rumored to bring misfortune and tragedy to its owners. The tale begins with its origins in India, where it was stolen from a Hindu temple, said to belong to a goddess. This act of theft set off a chain of calamities. Owners faced mysterious deaths, madness, and financial ruin. King Louis XVI and his family were not spared. Their fates ended in execution. Variations of the story suggest the diamond carries a curse, punishing those who possess it. Many believe the jewel is still cursed today, haunting its current owner. Could it be that the legend holds a sinister truth? Subscribe for more chilling stories.
The Carsons were eager to start fresh on Elm Street, a quiet, tree-lined road in a small town. Their new house, a charming 2-story, seemed perfect, tucked away from the bustle of city life. But as soon as they arrived, they noticed something strange. The street was silent. Not a single neighbor was seen outside. The houses around them were immaculate, yet there was an unsettling stillness in the air. No dogs barking, no children playing, just a thick silence hanging over everything. As the days passed, the Carsons grew more uneasy. One evening, they saw movement through the curtains of the house across the street, a shadow darting past the window. They watched, but no one came out. Driven by a growing sense of curiosity, they decided to visit the house. The door creaked open when they tried it, and the air inside was damp and cold. The rooms were perfectly arranged, but everything felt wrong. Stale, like the house had been abandoned for years. The basement door was slightly ajar. The Carsons descended, their hearts pounding, and found a strange room with rows of empty chairs. In each chair, an outline was visible, as if someone had recently sat there. The air grew heavier, and as they turned to leave, a voice whispered from the shadows, "Stay with us." The door slammed shut behind them. The Carsons' reflection in the dusty mirror wasn't their own. It was a face they didn't recognize. Elm Street had claimed them, and they were now part of the shadows that haunted it. In the dim light of her attic, Sarah discovered an ornate, locked box, its surface etched with intricate symbols that seemed to writhe under her gaze. The key was nowhere in sight, yet a whispering urge gripped her heart. She could feel a presence, an awareness that something was waiting just beneath the surface. Ignoring her better judgment, she pried it open with a crowbar, the metal screeching in protest. As the lid creaked ajar, an icy gust swept through the room, snuffing out her lantern and plunging her into darkness. A rush of shadows coiled around her ankles, seeping from the box, forming grotesque shapes that danced menacingly. Panic surged within her. The air became thick with a suffocating dread. Then, from the depths of the box, a voice croaked, low and raspy, "You've let me out." Heart pounding, she stumbled backward, the realization dawning. The box contained not treasure, but a malevolence she had unleashed. The shadows lunged, coiling tightly around her, and in a twisted final moment, her scream echoed, swallowed by the consuming dark. The box slammed shut, waiting, once again, for the next curious soul. In a dusty attic, Sarah found an old porcelain doll, its painted eyes glinting mischievously in the dim light. Intrigued, she took it home, thinking it would make a perfect gift for her younger sister, Lily. That night, as the house settled into silence, Sarah heard a soft voice drifting from the doll. "Help me," it whispered, sending chills down her spine. Dismissing it as her imagination, she fell into a restless sleep, the doll perched ominously on her bedside table. The next day, Sarah noticed oddities. Lily spoke of a new friend who told her secrets about their family, things no one but Sarah had known. As dazed, the whispers grew clearer, revealing truths that spiraled into darkness. The doll shared the tale of a girl named Eliza, who had gone missing decades ago, a girl who had once owned a similar doll. One stormy night, Sarah awoke to find the doll gone. Panic surged as she rushed to Lily's room, only to discover her sister was missing too. In her place was the doll, now with eyes that seemed to glimmer with malicious glee. The last whisper echoed in Sarah's mind, "You'll find her where I once was lost." The attic door creaked open, inviting her into the darkness.
In the small Italian village of Gary, there's a chilling legend that has persisted for centuries. The village is said to be haunted by the spirits of its former residents, who mysteriously vanished during the 14th century. According to local lore, the village was cursed after a series of tragic events, including a deadly plague and violent conflicts, which led to the sudden disappearance of its entire population. In the 1300s, Gary was a thriving community, but after a series of unexplained deaths and disappearances, the village was eventually abandoned. The exact cause of the exodus is unknown, but some believe it was tied to a supernatural force that began to torment the villagers. Some say they were driven out by an evil spirit, while others speculate that the residents fled to escape the effects of the plague. Today, Gary is an eerie ghost town. People who visit the abandoned village often report strange occurrences, disembodied voices, eerie shadows, and the unsettling feeling that they're being watched. There's no explanation for the hauntings, but the eerie silence of the empty village has left a chilling legacy that still lingers. What happened to the people of Gary? Was it simply a tragic end brought on by illness and fear? Or is the village truly haunted by the spirits of those who vanished long ago? Subscribe for more spine-tingling tales of ghostly legends from around the world. High in the remote Himalayan mountains of India lies Lake Rupkund, a haunting location known for the chilling discovery of hundreds of human skeletons. In 1942, a group of trekkers stumbled upon the site, where they found well-preserved bones scattered around the lake's shore, some showing signs of blunt force trauma to the skull, and others with wounds suggesting they were struck by heavy objects. The remains date back to around 850 AD, and the mystery deepened when experts realized that the skeletons came from different groups of people, not just one tribe or expedition. Several theories have been suggested. Some believe these individuals were victims of a violent attack. Others think they could have been pilgrims who died in a sudden, deadly hailstorm, with large hailstones causing fatal injuries. Despite decades of research, the true cause of their deaths remains a mystery, and Lake Rupkund continues to be a chilling enigma. Could this mass death have been a tragic accident? Or is there something far darker at play in this remote mountain lake? Subscribe for more eerie mysteries from around the world. In the early 1900s, a young boy named Robert Eugene Otto received a doll as a gift from a servant who was said to practice voodoo. The doll, which was over 3 feet tall, was named Robert and quickly became the boy's constant companion. But the doll wasn't just any toy. It was said to have a sinister presence. As Robert grew older, strange things started happening around the doll. The family would hear eerie giggling coming from Robert's room, and objects in the house would mysteriously move when the doll was nearby. Robert would blame the doll for these strange events, saying that it was the one causing the mischief. When the family moved to a new house, they placed Robert the doll in the attic. But it wasn't long before unsettling occurrences began again. People reported seeing the doll move on its own, and some claimed it would watch them with its beady eyes. Visitors who dared to enter the room with Robert often reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, as if they were being watched. The doll was eventually donated to a museum in Key West, Florida, where it remains today. Those who visit the museum are warned not to take pictures of Robert without asking for permission first, as many who disobeyed have reported experiencing bad luck, strange dreams, and even accidents. Is Robert the doll really haunted, or is it all just a terrifying legend? Either way, it's one of the most chilling tales of a toy with a dark secret that refuses to be forgotten. Subscribe for more spine-chilling stories and real-life encounters with the supernatural. In December 1945, 5 U.S. Navy bombers, known as Flight 19, set out on a routine training mission over the waters of the Atlantic near Florida. However, something went terribly wrong. The aircraft, led by experienced pilots, vanished without a trace, despite radioing in strange messages about malfunctioning instruments and disorientation. As Flight 19's distress calls continued, a rescue plane was sent to search for them, but it too disappeared. No wreckage from either the bombers or the rescue plane was ever found, and the mystery of their disappearance has haunted investigators for decades. Some believe the planes may have flown off course, while others speculate that the Bermuda Triangle, an area infamous for unexplained disappearances, may have played a role. The fate of Flight 19 remains unsolved, and the legend of the Bermuda Triangle continues to grow, leaving us to wonder if the ocean holds more secrets than we can imagine. Subscribe for more chilling tales of disappearances and mysteries that remain unsolved. In 1966, 3 siblings, Jane, Arna, and Grant Beaumont, disappeared from a beach in Glenelg, South Australia in broad daylight. They were last seen playing near the water, but when their parents returned to check on them, the children had vanished without a trace. Despite extensive searches, they were never found, and their disappearance remains one of Australia's most haunting mysteries. What makes this case particularly chilling is the lack of evidence. There were no signs of a struggle, no leads, and no clear explanation for what happened to the children. Witnesses reported seeing a man speaking to the children before they disappeared, but no one could identify him. Over the years, numerous theories have surfaced, including kidnapping, abduction, and even speculation about an unknown predator lurking nearby. Many believe that the mystery of the Beaumont children's disappearance is tied to a series of similar unsolved cases in the area, leaving a chilling question. Did the children simply vanish, or is there a darker force at work that has yet to be uncovered? The case still remains unsolved to this day, and the Beaumont family's story continues to haunt those who remember. Subscribe for more real-life mysteries that remain unanswered and leave us questioning what really happened. In 1994, a woman named Gloria Ramirez was rushed to a hospital in Riverside, California, suffering from advanced cancer and a range of unexplained symptoms. What followed would leave doctors and staff members shaken, and the case remains one of the most puzzling medical mysteries in history. As Gloria was being treated, Medical staff started to report strange symptoms, feeling faint, dizzy, and nauseous, just from being in close proximity to her. Within hours, several hospital workers had to leave due to the unusual effects, and some were even hospitalized themselves. Gloria passed away shortly after, but the symptoms persisted in those who had been near her. This strange event became known as the Toxic Lady incident. Experts believe the cause could be linked to Gloria's chemotherapy treatment, which may have interacted in an unusual way with her body, releasing toxic substances. Other theories suggest it could have been a rare medical condition that caused this bizarre reaction. Despite investigations, the exact cause remains unknown. Was it simply a rare medical event, or is there something more to this mystery that we still don't understand? Subscribe for more fascinating stories of real-life mysteries that defy explanation. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 took off from Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing, with 239 people aboard. But shortly after takeoff, the plane vanished from radar, and despite an extensive international search, it has never been found. The disappearance of Flight 370 remains one of the most baffling mysteries in aviation history. What makes this case even more chilling is the number of strange events leading up to the plane's disappearance. The plane's last known communication seemed normal, but moments later, it inexplicably turned off course. Then, the plane's transponder went dark, and all contact was lost. Some believe the plane was hijacked or sabotaged, while others suggest it could have been a tragic mechanical failure. There are even theories that the plane may have been intentionally flown off course and into a remote part of the Indian Ocean, where wreckage was later found. However, the lack of definitive answers has left the world with more questions than answers. Theories range from human error to hijacking to bizarre suggestions about secret technology or government cover-ups. Was it just a terrible accident? Or is there more to this mysterious disappearance than anyone is willing to admit? What really happened to Flight 370, and why is the truth so hard to uncover? Subscribe for more deep dives into unsolved mysteries that continue to haunt us. In the dense jungles of the Congo River Basin, there are whispers of a creature so elusive and ancient that it seems straight out of the pages of a prehistoric book. The Mokele Mbembe. Described as a massive reptilian creature with the body of a sauropod dinosaur, the Mokele Mbembe is said to roam the waters of the Congo, eluding anyone who tries to find it. Locals speak of its immense size, with reports describing a creature that could reach up to 30 feet long, with a long, snake-like neck and a tail powerful enough to capsize boats. What makes the creature even more terrifying is the fact that it's said to have lived for centuries, with some accounts stretching back to ancient times, suggesting the possibility of a living dinosaur. Expeditions have attempted to locate the Mokele Mbembe, but no one has ever returned with definitive proof of its existence. Some believe it is a relict species, a creature that should have been extinct millions of years ago, but survived in the hidden depths of the jungle. Others believe the Mokele Mbembe is something even stranger, a cryptid that may not even be bound by the rules of biology. Is the Mokele Mbembe a living dinosaur? A mysterious, undiscovered creature? Or something far more unsettling that lurks in the darkest corners of the Congo? Subscribe for more mind-blowing tales of creatures that might still be out there, waiting to be discovered. There's an eerie urban legend that's been circulating for years: the elevator game. It's a strange ritual, said to allow players to travel to another dimension. The rules seem simple. Take the elevator in a building with at least 10 floors, press a specific sequence of buttons, and you'll open a door to a reality far different from the one you know. But there's a dark warning. If you don't follow the rules exactly, you might never return. The game involves riding an elevator alone, pressing certain buttons in a precise order, and taking a ride that's said to bring you to a strange, deserted version of the building. The lights are dimmer, the atmosphere heavy, and sometimes people report hearing faint whispers or seeing shadowy figures. Some who've attempted the game say they encountered a woman, never seen clearly, who will attempt to lure you into the alternate world, and if you make eye contact, you may never be able to leave. The chilling part? Many who've tried the game claim they've returned, but something feels off. Time seems distorted, things are subtly wrong, and an overwhelming sense of dread lingers. Some even claim they saw strange things beyond the elevator doors, things they can't explain. Is it just an urban legend? Or is there a hidden truth to this bizarre ritual that should never be attempted? Subscribe for more terrifying stories and chilling mysteries that might make you question reality itself. In 1900, 3 lighthouse keepers on the remote Flannan Isles off the coast of Scotland vanished without a trace. The lighthouse, which had been in operation for years, suddenly fell silent, prompting a rescue mission. When authorities arrived, they found the lighthouse in perfect condition, except for one terrifying detail. The men were gone. There was no sign of a struggle, no evidence of a break-in, and no footprints leading away from the lighthouse. The only clue was a single unsettling detail. The table inside the lighthouse was set as if the men had been eating, but one of the chairs was missing, as if someone had hurriedly left. Over time, strange theories have emerged. Some say the men were taken by an unexplained force, perhaps supernatural, drawn into the sea by something unseen. Others suggest they were caught in a storm that never left a trace. More bizarre theories claim the lighthouse might have been a hotspot for strange, inexplicable events, even a portal to another realm. What really happened to the keepers of the Flannan Isles? Did they vanish into thin air? Or is there something more sinister at play on that lonely, forgotten island? Subscribe for more chilling tales that leave us questioning the unknown. Across the world, people have reported strange encounters with shadowy figures, known only as the shadow people. These dark, humanoid shapes are often seen out of the corner of one's eye, lurking in the corners of rooms, or standing motionless in the distance. What makes them even more unsettling? They're never fully in focus, appearing as silhouettes or shifting shadows. And when you try to look directly at them, they disappear in an instant. Many claim these figures are not just passive observers. Some say the shadow people seem to follow them, appearing again and again in different locations. Others have reported feeling a chilling presence in the room, like they're being watched, even when no one is there. Could these beings be spirits, interdimensional entities, or something even darker? Why do they seem to appear at night, during moments of vulnerability or exhaustion? Are we truly alone in the darkness, or are the shadow people always waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves? Subscribe for more spine-chilling stories that may make you question what's lurking in the shadows. Have you ever felt like someone was watching you? Some people report seeing the man in the window, a tall, shadowy figure that appears just beyond the glass, motionless, staring. The terrifying part? No one ever sees him arrive or leave. He's just there. Some claim he appears during sleep paralysis, his face just out of focus. Others swear they've seen him standing outside their home, only to vanish the moment they look away. Stories of the man in the window have surfaced across different countries, with eerily similar details. Is he a shared hallucination? A figment of the imagination? Or could he be something else? Something that watches, waits, and only lets itself be seen when it wants to? Is this just a creepy coincidence? Or has the man in the window been watching us all along? Subscribe for more terrifying stories that might just keep you up at night. All around the world, people report hearing a low, droning sound, something eerie, inescapable, and untraceable. Known simply as the hum, this mysterious noise has been reported in places like the UK, the United States, and even remote regions with no clear source. Described as a low-frequency vibration, the hum is often heard late at night and affects only certain people. Some claim it causes headaches, insomnia, and even paranoia. Scientists have tried to explain it, pointing to industrial sounds, underground activity, or even mass delusion, but no definitive source has ever been found. Even stranger, some believe the hum is not a natural phenomenon at all. Theories range from secret government experiments to unknown frequencies affecting human perception. Could it be an undiscovered atmospheric event, a secret transmission, or something even more unsettling? Is the hum just a trick of the mind, or is something out there making itself heard? Subscribe for more unexplained mysteries. What if Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory isn't the whimsical tale we've always believed? Some theories suggest it's actually a hidden horror story, one about greed, punishment, and a candy maker with a dark agenda. Think about it. Each child who enters Wonka's factory mysteriously disappears after breaking his strange rules. Their fates are left ambiguous, yet Wonka never seems concerned. The Oompa Loompas sing eerie, pre-planned songs about their wrongdoings, almost as if everything was set up from the start. Could the factory itself be a trap, designed to test and possibly eliminate those who fail? Even Wonka's demeanor shifts from charming to unsettling. His cryptic warnings, sudden outbursts, and refusal to answer questions all suggest he knows more than he lets on. Was this a magical adventure, or a carefully orchestrated game with sinister consequences? Is this just an over-the-top theory, or did Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory always have a hidden, chilling message? Subscribe for more mind-blowing film theories. What if The Matrix is more than just a mind-bending sci-fi film? Some believe it's a chilling warning about the world we live in, a metaphor for control, illusion, and a reality far different from what we perceive. The film's central theme, that humans unknowingly exist inside a simulated reality, has sparked endless theories. Could The Matrix be hinting at the influence of technology, mass surveillance, or even the power of media to shape our perceptions? The eerie precision of its storytelling, the cryptic messages hidden in the dialogue, and the unsettling feeling that something isn't quite right, all suggest a deeper meaning. Neo's journey from an ordinary man to the One symbolizes awakening, breaking free from a system designed to keep people complacent. But was this just a story? Or was The Matrix subtly urging us to question the world around us? Are these theories just speculation? Or did the Wachowskis embed a hidden truth within their masterpiece? Subscribe for more mind-expanding film theories. What if Alien is more than just a sci-fi horror film? At first glance, Ridley Scott's Alien is a terrifying monster movie set in space. But what if there's more lurking beneath the surface? Some believe the film hides deeper meanings, an unsettling reflection of human fears, corporate greed, and the dangers of the unknown. The Weyland-Yutani Corporation's obsession with controlling the creature mirrors real-world institutions that put power and profit above human lives. The xenomorph itself, its eerie biomechanical design, feels almost symbolic, representing something unnatural and unstoppable. Could the film be a cautionary tale about reckless ambition, the dangers of exploration, or even humanity's fear of losing control? Scott's meticulous world-building and Giger's haunting designs make Alien feel more than just a thriller. The cold, sterile spaceship, the eerie silence of space, and the relentless pursuit of survival all create a sense of isolation and unease. Was Alien secretly warning us about forces beyond our control? Are these hidden meanings real, or are we just reading too much into the horror? Let us know what you think in the comments. Subscribe for more mind-blowing film theories. If you see a painting of a crying boy at night in your home, just run. The curse of the crying boy originates from the 1950s, when Prince of a Sorrowful Child became popular in British households. Strangely, numerous reports emerged linking these paintings to devastating house fires. Victims claimed that their homes burned down, yet the crying boy painting remained unscathed. Theories suggest that the painting's creator, Giovanni Bragolin, infused it with a dark energy, while some believe it embodies the spirit of a lost child. Variants of the tale include tragic stories of the original boy. Beware, for some say the painting brings misfortune. Subscribe to uncover more chilling tales. What if I told you about a night of music and celebration that turned into a chilling tale of tragedy and haunting? In 1996, Ozone Disco in Quezon City, Philippines, was the site of one of the deadliest nightclub fires in history. Over 160 lives were lost in the blaze, many trapped inside the building with no escape. Legend has it that the souls of those who perished never left. People claim to hear faint music, laughter, and screams coming from the abandoned site late at night. Taxi drivers report seeing ghostly figures hailing rides, only for them to vanish once the car stops. Locals believe the spirits linger, reliving their final moments or seeking justice for the neglect that led to the tragedy. Is it a place forever marked by grief? Or does the ozone disco still echo with the voices of the past? Subscribe for more true stories that blur the line between tragedy and the supernatural. What if all you know about The Simpsons was not just a show, but a chilling prophecy? This iconic series, known for its humor, has eerily predicted major events, from Donald Trump's presidency to the 9/11 attacks. Originating in the late 1980s, some episodes contain bizarre coincidences that have left fans unnerved. One infamous episode featured a monorail system in Springfield, only to have a real-life monorail proposal arise in 1997. Over the years, variations of this theory suggest that the show's creators possess a supernatural foresight. Real-life tragedies seem to echo in its plot lines, leading some viewers to wonder, is it all just a bizarre coincidence? Or is there something sinister at play? Subscribe for more chilling tales. What if all you know about government secrecy was a lie? The eerie world of alien conspiracies depicted in a popular series raises unsettling questions. One chilling theory suggests the existence of a secret project called MK Ultra, where the government experimented on unwitting citizens, blurring lines between reality and fiction. This project, shrouded in darkness, aimed to explore mind control and often included bizarre tests reminiscent of extraterrestrial encounters. The eerie resemblance between these experiments and the show's plotlines implies that fiction may echo true horrors. Are we merely spectators, or are we being watched? Subscribe for more unnerving tales. What if all you know about the cursed videotape was a lie? The legend of the ring traces back to ancient folklore, where spirits were said to be trapped in images, seeking vengeance. The chilling tale follows a young girl named Samara, whose tragic death fueled her wrath. Some believe this horror was inspired by a real-life phenomenon where discarded tapes led to mysterious vanishings. Over time, variations of the story emerged, each deepening the fear surrounding the tape. Those who dared to watch it faced terrifying apparitions, culminating in their demise. The tape serves as a warning, a reminder that some films are more than entertainment. What if I told you the Red Room holds the darkest secrets of Hill House? This chilling space is a character all its own, adapting to the fears and desires of those who enter. Originating from the novel by Shirley Jackson, the Red Room symbolizes personal trauma and the ghosts of the past. Many believe it reflects the family's struggles, revealing their hidden terrors. Variations of the theory suggest it's a manifestation of grief or a portal to the afterlife, echoing real events of loss and mental illness. The unsettling atmosphere leaves viewers questioning reality itself. To uncover more mysteries, don't forget to subscribe for the latest theories that will haunt your thoughts. What if I told you that deep in the swamps of Louisiana, a sinister figure prowls under the cover of night? Known as the Rougarou, this legendary creature is said to be a werewolf-like beast, cursed to roam the bayou. Tales of the Rougarou date back centuries, rooted in French and Cajun folklore. Witnesses describe it as a towering figure with glowing red eyes, razor-sharp teeth, and an insatiable hunger for flesh. Some say the curse is passed on to those who break Lenten traditions, while others believe it's a punishment for betrayal. Despite the skepticism, eerie howls and unexplained disappearances keep the legend alive. Dare to venture into the bayou? Subscribe for more chilling tales from the unknown. What if I told you about a creature that lurks in the shadows of Maryland's dense woods? The legend of the Goat Man tells of a half-man, half-goat beast, born from a horrific experiment gone wrong. Sightings date back to the 1950s, with terrified witnesses claiming it has the ability to mimic human voices, luring unsuspecting victims deeper into the forest. Variants of the story speak of a park ranger who vanished, leaving behind only eerie cries. Some believe the Goat Man is the spirit of an ancient sacrifice, prowling for vengeance. This chilling narrative keeps locals on edge, a reminder that some legends are rooted in real fear. Subscribe for more spine-tingling tales. What if I told you there's a forest so haunted, locals won't set foot in it after dark? Deep in Romania lies the Hoia Baciu Forest, often called the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania. Known for its twisted trees and eerie silence, the forest is home to countless tales of disappearances, ghostly apparitions, and unexplainable phenomena. Legend has it that a shepherd once entered the forest with 200 sheep, and none of them were ever seen again. Another story speaks of a little girl who vanished, only to reappear years later, unchanged and with no memory of where she'd been. People report feeling watched, sudden nausea, and even strange lights floating between the trees. And then there's the forest's infamous clearing, a perfect circle where nothing grows, said to be a portal to another dimension. Paranormal investigators have recorded bizarre energy readings here, but no one can explain why it exists. Would you dare to enter this forest of nightmares? Subscribe for more spine-chilling tales from around the world. What if I told you the word abracadabra wasn't just a magician's trick, but an ancient spell tied to forces we barely understand? A word whispered through centuries, carrying a power both feared and revered. Its origins are cloaked in mystery. Some believe it comes from the Aramaic phrase, "I create as I speak," spoken to invoke creation or destruction. Others link it to Abraxas, a name tied to ancient demons and forbidden secrets. In the 2nd century, Roman healers used it in rituals to banish sickness. They wrote it in a triangular pattern, the letters vanishing line by line, as if erasing a curse, or calling something darker into being. But what if abracadabra was never meant for healing? What if its true purpose was to summon forces lurking in the shadows, waiting to answer when we speak its name? If this sends chills down your spine, subscribe now and join us as we explore more tales of the unknown. What if the Winchester Mystery House was designed to confuse the spirits? Sarah Winchester, widow of the rifle magnate, believed she was haunted by those killed by her husband's invention. After consulting a medium, she began building this sprawling mansion in 1884, continuously adding rooms, staircases, and doors that lead nowhere, all to appease the restless souls. Some say the house is a labyrinth meant to trap spirits. Workers claim to hear whispers and see shadows even after hours. Visitors report feelings of unease, and some have spotted apparitions. The mystery remains. Was it madness or a desperate attempt to find peace? Subscribe for more chilling stories. What if the devil's footprints were real? On a cold February morning in 1855, the people of Devon, England, woke to a chilling sight. Miles of hoof-like prints pressed into freshly fallen snow. The tracks stretched over rooftops, through walls, and across frozen rivers, as if made by something impossible. The legend of the devil's footprints was born. Locals whispered of a demonic presence roaming the countryside, while skeptics argued it was a hoax or an animal. But no explanation could account for the sheer scale or the eerie precision of the tracks. Even today, the mystery endures, with no definitive answer to what, or who, left them behind. What if the devil's footprints weren't just a mystery of the past? What if the entity responsible was still out there, waiting for the perfect snowy night to return? Subscribe to explore the most chilling mysteries of history and the blurred line between myth and reality.